Happy rails to you. Welcome back, my friends. Happy rails to you. It's good to see you again. Thanks for watching the channel and the videos. Sometimes they go real fast and sometimes they're slow. Happy rails to you. Thanks for watching. Well, hi guys, it's G-Man, my Road 67. Welcome back. Well, guys, I got several projects I've been tinkering around with a little bit at a time for the last, 3-4 weeks off and on. And I was trying to figure out which one of them I wanted to actually do in before the camera. I'm also still working off and on out in my shop. I hadn't really paid a lot of attention to the track, so forth and so on the layout itself, because I've been busy junking the layout back up because I've been digging out and going through, starting those trains and cars and other things that I have. By the way, if anybody wants any vehicles for their layout, primarily the 1/64 scale, which is S, or the 1/48 or 1/43 scale, or which is O, cars or vehicles, let me know, guys, because I've got a couple of boxes full of cars and HO, and I've come to the conclusion I'm not going to be able to use them all. But anyway, you can let me know. I'll put the email in along as we go, either at the end of the video, or I'll put it in here in a little bit. But for right now, what I'm going to be working on, I've got this apron. This is off of a Lionel 1055, Texas and Pacific. And as you can see, it's just really junky engine. And it's broke. And I have repaired these and all this and that, but this is just a shell out of an engine that I'd already repaired once before. And so I needed this apron off of it. And so I cut the apron off, and I'm going to show you why. Out digging out stuff, and I found something that I really, and I always say that, but it's the truth, forgot that I even had. A number 224. I don't know how well you can see it, but a number 224 United States Navy Alco engine. And the only thing wrong with this has got a few scratches and a little wear, and I might try to touch it up. It was really dirty. It was almost black. It was so dirty, but I got it cleaned up. It really looks pretty good. As usual, I don't have the light that I'd like to have to really show you what this engine really looks like. And I'm going to change my lighting situation sometime this month. But as for right now, That's not going to help, is it? Well, it might help a little bit. Okay. So it's missing the apron, and it looked like someone else had broken it off or cut it off, or had broken it off and then tried to shape it up. So what I did, this apron was cracked, and when I cut it off, it of course snapped the rest of the way. So I took and glued it back together and then braced it on the back side. Piece of plaster struts, or actually it's evergreen scale models, the polyester sheets. And then it was broke right here on the corner. And so I made a new corner for it out of that same polyester, and got it on there. Looks pretty good. Once we get it painted and everything, it's going to be great. I filed this down some, and I see right here I may need to file that down just a little bit more. We're going to go ahead and file it while I'm looking at it. It's got a little high ridge on it. It's kind of in a bad place to hold it. Means that corner broke off. But we'll get it. It's not that much. There it is. Okay. So we got this corner repaired, and I'm going to smooth it up a little more. This is repaired. I'm not going to do anything else to this. It's pretty tight fit. Just want it to dry real good. And then in the process, I made these back braces. And I always put these in whenever I replace an apron. And they're just strips of styrene. I cut them, shape them. Get a good view of that. And then I glue it to the back side of the apron, leaving a portion of it. Can you see that? Can't get my wrist turned right. There we go. Leaving a portion of it above the apron. It's about half on the back side of the apron and just about half sticking above. And I'm going to glue that on. I'm going to do the same thing on this other side with another one that I've cut and put it there. We're going to glue it on. So, okay, guys, I'm going to go ahead and glue these on, and then we'll be back. Okay, I got those glued in place. Recording. Got those glued in place, and we're going to let them dry. They're not completely dry yet. Just really got them in there and situated. Have to kind of work them around there a little bit so that they'll sit down in that bend like they're supposed to. That's what they look like on the underside. When we place them on, we'll of course have to line it up, and it will go like this. And of course, none of the bracing will be visible. It'll all be in under the body shell, which I can't do too good right now because it's still, as I said, tacky. And I don't want to disturb it. Okay. But anyway, that'll all sit under there. And of course, I'll paint it before I put it on. Now, I have a blue that I use for the Kansas, Colorado, and Texas Railroad. And it is very similar, but not quite the same. But it may be close enough that I might use it on this apron. But then again, I might just paint this apron black. And we'll put some maybe white stripes on it. We'll see. But right now, we're going to let this dry. And we'll be back here in a little bit. All right, we're back. Let this sit overnight, actually. It's all dry. I went ahead and took a red marker and just colored this so that I could see where my line was. So that I could line this up like this side. See that? Got a little curve in it. And now this has got a little curve in it. And I can see here, and I've filed this off where I've got it smooth. We're going to try it now that it's dried once again for a fit. Perfect. I could glue it on right now, but I don't want to glue it on. I want to go ahead and paint this first. So, it's raining outside right now, but it's stopped right now. So we're going to go ahead and go outside before the moisture level gets any higher out there. And we're going to paint this real quick. I could do it with the acrylic paint that I have here in the house, but it takes that forever to dry. So I'm going to go ahead and paint this, and I'll be right back. Okay, we're back. Well, I got it outside and got it painted black, as you can see. And I started to paint it blue, but my Kansas, Colorado, and Texas blue that I use, the color that I use for that is a whole lot lighter shade than the one that's on the United States engine, Navy engine, which is this one. So since it has a black frame and black, wheels, the chassis, it's all black. I decided to go ahead and go with the black apron for now. Later on, if I decide to change it, I can. I painted it front and back. Basically, it's got 2 coats of flat black paint on it. I do plan on trying to find this color because I did want this color. In the past, I've wanted this color or a color similar to this for other projects, and I've never picked one up, didn't find it at the time. So I am going to be looking for this color in particular. I can probably get it online at 2 or 3 different places. But I like to be able to see my colors with my eye rather than look at a picture, because there's a big distortion that takes place a lot of times from the screen to the eye. And it's hard to match paints online. Same with clothing. Okay. Wish I could get a little better lighting. I don't know whether that's for better or worse. It might be a little better. But we're going to take this, as I said, and we're going to put it up, match it up there with the engine, and glue it in place. Now it's still wet, it's still damp, and it's going to take, even though it is flat black, which dries usually a little quicker, because of the temperature today outside, which it's still in the I believe it's around 79, 80 degrees yet outside. But it's really moist. There's a lot of moisture in the air. So as I said, that's why I had to bring it inside so that it will dry and be okay. So we're just going to let this dry probably about another hour. And we'll be back. Well, I decided to come out in the shop and go through some of the crates that I've got out here that I've got reorganized, but there were some parts and things I was looking for, and so I decided to come out here and see what I could see. While I was going through my American Flyer junk box, this is all Flyer here, I found another old billboard that I forgot I had, and as you can see, it's in pretty rough condition. So that's another project we'll be working on. I'm thinking I have one that's already done that was either in good condition already or that I had restored at one time or another. But as I look around the shop area, I don't see it. I see the one from the 1930s up there on the top up there, which was actually L gauge. That's most of my old gauge Flyer. Back it out one. Right there. Most of my old gauge Flyer. It's on the shelves, and most of that right there needs restored. Then I've got some up on the top over the S scale, over the S gauge. I don't know whether you can see it or not. Blue Comet. Down on that end, at the top, is the 9000. And then there's another one right there, the 10 version, or press metal. And then there's the mini haha, and I've got the cars for it to restore. I haven't gotten around to it yet. So, yeah, there's another billboard right there. Billboard right there. And there's one on this back wall, which I don't think you can see right now. I can't get turned around to it. Alright guys, we made it back inside. This has been drying now for actually quite a while. So I stayed out in the shop for about 3 hours, going through boxes and pulling out stuff, sorting stuff, getting stuff ready. Some more stuff for repair. I've already pulled out some stuff. Couldn't bring it in the house. Can't show it to you this time, but I'll show it to you next time around. Opened up a few boxes while I was out there, small boxes. Found stuff, of course, you know, that I forgot I had or forgot I bought, especially down in the bins. I went through 2 bins, my American Flyer bins, and I went through some odd Marks stuff, and some Lionel stuff, and there was things that I didn't even realized that I had. I'm changing the whole scheme of things as far as my collecting is concerned. I'm no longer going to really be a collector. I'm just going to enjoy the hobby from now on. I've pretty much got everything that I want. I'm finding stuff that I wanted and I didn't even remember that I had. And so what I've been doing for this last, I don't know, 6 months is trying to cull some stuff out. And that's what I'm doing. And I'm going to have a whole new theme. But I'll tell you about that at a later date in the next month or so. But as to right now, here is that apron. It goes on the front. I don't think you can see the detail on it. Let's try to get some light on that detail. And all the detail is still there and is showing. Unfortunately, you can't really see it, I guess. There we go. Turn it toward the light more. As you can see, all the detail is in there. You can't really tell that it was ever broken down the middle. So it looks pretty good. This repair we made on the corner where it was broken off came out pretty good. Looks like I could use a little sanding off right there, but not necessarily. Depends on what I do with it, whether I stripe it or not, which I probably will. It should take care of it. All right. Now what we're going to do, light's not quite as bright as it was. Don't know what happened there. Oh, there we go. Move it over here a little bit. Too much light and it puts a glare. How's that? What we're going to do is take this and we're going to glue this on. And I'm going to use my trusty testers, as almost always. Do I use other glues? Yes, I do. But testers is my main glue of choice for plastic construction of most types. Now I've got to put this on. You don't want it on too heavy, but you want it on sort of unsparingly. And you got to put it on here too. Just a little light. And we do that because it adheres better. Let it sit just a second. And then we'll put it in position. While we're doing that, I mentioned, and I didn't bring it in, I meant to, that I did bring in, that I had found a 353, I think it was, tender. And, or maybe it was a 553 tender. But anyhow, I was going to use it with my 5445. Well, while I was out there, one of the last boxes that I opened had a 553 engine in it. So, one point or two, sometime or another, I picked up from two different places the tender and the engine, planning on building them and never got around to it. That is an old gauge American Flyer engine. So it was either 553 or 535, but whatever it is, we'll look at it and we'll review it if we can in our next video. Guys, if you remember, remind me, and I'll have it in the house at that time. And remind me, and if I'm not reviewing that at that time, just shoot me an email. You can reach me at the link that's provided in the information section of my channel. And or you can email me at gman1924 at rocketmail.com. Oh, I'm sorry. Let's do that again. gman1924 at Outlook or hotmail.com. gman1924 at hotmail.com. Okay, I think this is set up enough now. Now, the first time I put it on, even though I put it on what one would call sparingly. I didn't put it on heavy enough to really cover. It just kind of smeared it a little bit. So this time I'm going to go back and put it on really heavy. Now, you don't necessarily have to do it like that, but that's the way I like to do it for certain parts that I'm replacing. I'm going to blow on it a little bit. And here we go. Looks like I need to turn the camera a little bit. There we go. We'll get it in place. Gotta move it now, line it up while I still can. Make sure everything's snugged up. Looks just about right. Oh yeah. And because we did it the way we did it, this is going to meld the two plastics together. We just have to make sure that it's tight. Now, we have a place for that coupler. This, when I got it, was turned around backwards. I guess they did that so that the coupler end wouldn't show. The only problem with that, when it was turned this way, it wouldn't turn properly because it was hitting on this battery section, which I need to tighten up. But what we're going to do is, because it doesn't hurt it any, the truck, we're going to take it and we're going to bend this down just a little bit. Kind of an even pull on it. Keep it off of the tires. Of course, it won't be low enough to hit the tracks. And that actually gives us a full turning radius. See that? And we've got a wonderful fit. See if we can get the camera a little lower. There we go. That looks pretty good. Now our lettering is white, of course. So what I think we'll do is we'll put our white safety stripes on the front. We can either do that or we can customize it with U.S. Army. Now this is no longer going to be necessarily a switch engine because designated because it only has one coupler, so it can't push and pull. So it's going to be redesignated as a transportation engine. So we now have a 224 transportation engine. And of course, as a transport, it can transport troops. It can transport also medical supplies and freight. It just will not be any longer be a switch engine. And of course, with one coupler, you could have a B unit. You can run doubles or triples. But this will always be a lead engine. We'll take another look at it here in a minute. We'll let it set a few minutes. Go around it, make sure everything's lined up properly. Make sure I squeeze it together because I don't want any gaps. Little excess glue right there. I'll remove that now. While it's solidifying and being tacky. Save us a lot of work later. Just do that with your thumbnail. Usually works pretty good. That way you don't have to do any unnecessary touch-up. Oh yeah. Looking good. We're going to go ahead and put our stripes on it, guys. My hand's not as steady as it used to be, so bear with me. I messed up. So guys, that was kind of a rush job on the striping, so forgive me. But comment down below and let me know what you think of this switcher. Now, we got it going. It runs great. Now it has the striping. Almost identical. And there it is. 224 Lionel. Now, if you will, partially custom switcher with a new apron, new designation, and runs and looks great. Well, that's all I have for you for now, guys. As always, if you enjoy your hobby, no matter what it is, but especially if it's trains, you enjoy working on your layout, you enjoy doing your scenic work, maybe you enjoy just the woodworking portion of it and building the layout itself, or maybe you just enjoy running trains, working on them, refurbishing them, rebuilding them, refinishing them, or just plain making them run, then you should have happy rails. And that's all I have for you for tonight or for today. And as always, again, remember, God loves you and Jesus Christ is Lord. Bye-bye. This has been a Godzilla production. Happy rails. Until next time.